Gang in studio with us, straight from DHA Financial, one of the sharpest mortgage guys I've ever met, and one of the most hardworking as well. Also wearing a 9-piece suit today. You look so good. Mr. Nick Geraghty. Good morning, Nick. How you living?
I'm living well, Eric. How are you doing today?
Very excellent. Thank you so much.
A little cold, but...
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I was driving here today. I saw a billboard along 13th Avenue that was advertising for apartments. And I was thinking about renting, and I haven't rented for quite some time. But my family grew up in North Fargo, and we used to live in an apartment. A 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment in the late 80s, early 90s. What do you think that went for?
Oh, boy. $400 a month?
Yeah, no, we weren't in that kind of Ritz. Yeah, no, the Hatch family grew up poor. And so we were in an apartment that was $285 a month.
Wow.
And we hear that now, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's an unbelievable opportunity. But back in the late 80s, early 90s, we were at $285 to $310, somewhere in that range, to rent. Sure. Now, what I saw on 13th Avenue, Nick, is they were advertising something as low as $600 a month for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. But I know you and I have friends that are renting right now, and not many people find places that are $585 or $600 a month, right?
Right.
If somebody's going to rent a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, or a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, what do you think that goes for nowadays?
Honestly, $900 to $1,200 a month. I've got a friend who's actually moving in with me because what you just talked about, he can't find something that's $600 or less that he actually is going to be proud to call home, somewhere he wants to live. And 2 beds, especially, you're pushing over $1,000 easy. Yeah.
I have some friends that are living in some pretty pristine places, some places downtown that maybe boast a higher rental rate. I know somebody for a 2-bedroom apartment, they're paying $1,700 a month, Nick.
Oof. As a mortgage guy, that just hurts me.
Well, some people choose to have that convenience of not dealing with all the extras.
Sure.
Snow removal right now makes people say, I want to rent.
That's me right now. Yeah. It was just my shovel. I need a snowblower.
I totally get it, why people would choose to rent. But if Fargo is going to be the place for you, we need to talk the skinny of the hard facts. A $1,700 a month mortgage payment gets you how much house?
At least $250, $275, depending on your program, down payment. You might even be able to push that, depending on where you go.
I think $300 plus even.
Yeah, if you got some cash saved up and you're a well-qualified buyer, absolutely, yeah. But even if you're a first-time buyer, people can get to that $250, $275 mark right there. I
bet for $1,700 a month, you could get a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 3-stall garage house on a 1/4 acre. I bet you can find that. No problem. And let's scale that down because not everybody's paying that $1,700 a month for rent, right, Nick?
Yep.
Let's talk the $1,200 a month rental payment that we know that people are living in 2-bedroom apartments for.
It's a sweet spot right now.
Okay, tell me more.
That's around that $200, $220, $225, maybe even a little bit above.
Depending on special assessments, right?
Bingo. Yeah. That makes a huge impact. And that has been 9 of my last 10 pre-approvals. We're looking at that $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
$200, $225, and like you were talking about spring, those are going to fly.
Yeah, they really are. And I have gotten into flipping some houses lately, and I have some that are coming on the market right in that sweet spot. And I think the timing is right for it, that there should be ample buyers looking at that.
Absolutely. Yep.
Nick, obviously you work in the mortgage world and you get a chance to see people all the time that come to you to say, I'm thinking about switching from renting to buying. Let's talk logic. And I always have to give this baseline is that buying real estate is an emotional decision if you're buying it for your personal property.
Yep.
But we're here to talk about the logic of it so people can say, well, how do these numbers make sense?
Yep.
Financially, why should somebody buy a property?
Oh, yeah. I mean, how much time do we have? I would love
3 minutes.
My biggest proponent of why buying a house is such a great decision, not only is it a good alternative to the rent, sometimes you can month to month, it makes sense, but building equity is everything. Accounting 101, assets equal liabilities plus equity, right? Yes, you're going to have a liability, you're going to have a mortgage, But building your assets is what's going to build wealth in the future. You get a $200,000 house today. 5 years from now, that monthly payment, if you look at it as I'm saving money, I'm just putting money into an account, you can walk away 30, 40 grand in equity if you sell or move on to the next place in the future. So equity is everything.
Well, let's talk an even number. $200,000 house.
Yep.
30-year mortgage. Those are all really common things, right?
Yep.
Immediately, if you're making your monthly payment of $1,200 a month, probably $200 of that to $300 of that a month goes in your savings account, right? That pays down your mortgage.
Yep.
Okay. So in the course of a year, you're going to look at anywhere from $2,400 to $3,600. Let's go right in the middle and say $3,000. Okay. So $3,000 a year you're gaining in equity.
Plus appreciation.
Yeah, and hang on there. No, slow your roll there, Mr. Nick Geraghty. Because if we're talking 5 years, we've now put $15,000 of equity in our savings account. But really the amortization schedule, which says you pay a little bit on your mortgage day one, on the final day you're paying like all mortgage because the bank's going to get paid first.
Exactly.
Yep. And so we look at that. You're $15,000 ahead just from paying down your mortgage. Now, the federal government believes that property should appreciate about 4% a year. I think 4.22% is the last one I saw.
Yep.
So if we're taking that original $200,000 house and that grows by 4%, that's $8,000, right? So we now have $8,000 in your favor plus the $3,000. So you're now $11,000 ahead. And if you paid $1,200 a month for 12 months, that's $14,400, right? So really, your mortgage only costs you $3,400 a month. Am I wrong?
A month?
Sorry, $3,400 for a year.
Honestly, yeah. Yes, you have your utilities, you have your other things, you have your other expenses, but that's exactly right, and that's what I try to educate my clients on too. Is both paying down and appreciation, really you're netting so much actual less out of your pocket. It's just you don't have access to those funds right now.
Yeah.
But you put money away in a 401k and no one blinks. Putting money into a mortgage and, that's something, in my opinion, that's also equally important when you look at your P's and Q's and you look at it that way. You look at a calculator. And that's something I love to do with my clients because exactly what you said, breaking it down that way makes it a lot clearer.
Okay. Now, we can talk debt, and we're running out of time here, but I think this is an important thing to cover. The median income of a household. If somebody wants to buy that average price of $200,000 to $225,000, determining their debt, of course, is going to make a big difference. But about how much should they be making as a household annually to buy that $200,000 to $225,000 house?
Yeah, so...
And I'd put an asterisk on this to say every situation is different. We're giving generalities here and not specificity.
100%. Median household income, if you're, even joint around the 50, 60, you don't carry too much debt. You can still have some student loans, a couple car loans between the two of you. You're going to have a lot of opportunity, to be honest.
So $50,000 to $60,000 as a household.
As a household, so that's not just you individually.
Nick, get this. If you want to buy a home in Seattle, the median priced home, $110,000 for your average median income that you need. If you want to buy in San Jose, California, $274,000 you have to make as your median income. St. Louis, $45,000. Indianapolis, $43,000. Cincinnati, $44,000. Memphis, $43,000. Birmingham, $45,000. So there are places in the middle of our country here that are much more affordable. And then you go to New York, $103,000, right? Like coast and coast, we are in trouble. But here in the Midwest, it is ripe with opportunity. What am I missing here, Nick?
You hit it on the head. That's exactly right. Even SmartWire came out with an article that said Fargo is one of the best city, and if you go to SmartWire, the best city on median household income because of colleges, job opportunities, commute times, places to live. So I've lived here my whole life. I know you've been here forever. That's why we're such proponents of the FM area.
Yeah, huge fans. And by all means, folks, if you want to make a logical decision on how to best use your money, consider buying some real estate. Nick, what's the website people can contact so they can reach out to you and maybe see where they qualify? And it costs them nothing to figure this out.
Absolutely. DHAloan.com. Again, that's DHAloan.com. If you go to Meet the Team, you can find all our lenders, look for Nick. And yeah, like Eric said, free information. You can find my phone number, email on the website there.
Beautiful. Nick Geraghty, DHA. We love what you're doing here in town. Thank you for being a proponent of real estate and all the great things happening. Folks, we're going to swing to break, and in the meantime, head to hatchrealty.com. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.